This is the second part to exercise 3G. So we're going to look at using the index laws to simplify our questions. So index law 1. Here's our definition. When multiplying numbers with the same base, we add the powers. All right, let's see what this means. So here is a formula, okay, or our rule, just using A as a base and M and N as the powers. So if we multiply when the base is the same, then we add our powers. So you can see I've got M plus N. All right. You have to always make sure that when you do this, your base number is the same. If they are different, then you cannot use this rule. So here's an example. Our base is -4. Okay, they are both the same number. So we're good to go. We can use our rule. I've got a 5 here as the first power and 4 as the second power. So if I do one step of working out, I end up with this. Okay. We can further simplify that because we know 5 plus 4 is 9. And then if we actually calculate, well, what would the basic numeral be for this? We get -262,144. So quite a big number. And if we think about that, that's because I'm multiplying -4 by itself 9 times. Okay, so you will end up with a large looking number. But in this case, again, if we think back to our previous lesson, so the first half of 3G, if I have an odd power with a negative base, I'll get a negative answer. Okay, so in fact, this number is actually quite small. Okay, looks big, but because it's negative, it's quite a small number. All right. So let's have a look at index law 2. When dividing numbers with the same base, we now subtract the powers. Okay, so we're doing the opposite to index law 1. Instead of multiplying, we're dividing. Instead of adding, we're subtracting. So here's what our rule looks like. We've got the same base, in this case A. We're dividing these two indices. That means that we subtract the powers. Okay. So here's my example. -2 to the power of 12 divided by -2 to the power of 6. Same base, so we keep that base the same. And we now do 12 take away 6, which we've got here. We know that 12 take away 6 is 6. And then if we work out what is the basic numeral of -2 to the power of 6, we get positive 64. Okay, you have to make sure that if you're using a calculator to do a question like this where the base is negative, you have to put in the brackets in your calculator. Okay, otherwise the calculator may not give you the correct sign for the answer. Okay, so always as a rule, put in your brackets around your negative base, okay, to avoid making any errors.